Good afternoon and good morning in California. I'm Richard Flaherty, President of the International Corrugated Packaging Foundation. Welcome to the International Corrugated Packaging Foundation's 13th Annual Careers in Corrugated International Teleconference. I wish to thank the packaging, graphic design, business, marketing and sales, and supply chain students and faculty that have joined us today. Our moderators today are Lindsay Corlin and Ann Recke. Ladies.
Thanks, Richard. Hi, you guys. I'm Lindsay Corlin, and in 2010, I graduated from Cal Poly with a degree in business and industrial technology, where the packaging department is located. I've always known that I wanted to pursue a career in sales, and after taking my first packaging class, realized that I could both happily and successfully sell POP and protective packaging. As I approached my graduation, ICPF resources enabled me to meet with industry executives and also helped schedule interviews for me. And through ICPF, I was recruited by Bay Cities Container Corporation in Southern California, where I now serve as a sales executive. I love my job. It's fun and fast-paced, it's rewarding, and it offers great career growth for the future. It's also a green industry, which is something that's very important to me. The International Corrugated Packaging Foundation, ICPF for short, is an educational foundation that is funded by individual corrugated companies and co-sponsored by the AICC and Fiberbox Association. Many of you may best know the ICPF for its donations to your campuses. It gives CAD tables, lab equipment, and curricula to many campuses. And I wish to remind faculty today that the new online curricula is available at the ICPF website and has been updated this semester with an expanded module on sustainability with new faculty codes and answers to the questions at the ends of many of the chapters. Now, my firm is one of over 60 corporations that sponsor this teleconference annually, and today we will make career opportunities in the corrugated packaging and display industry more accessible to you through presentations that will allow you to be more familiar with our industry. Our panelists will cover a variety of topics, such as the two general business models we see in the industry, the markets that drive the business, the critical personnel and careers that are found in the industry, and also the sustainable applications we often see. With almost 1,300 locations in the U.S. alone, virtually each of you, no matter what state or province you reside in, live within easy commuting distance of a potential corrugated packaging and display employer. Today, we hope to further introduce you who are in packaging, graphic design, marketing and sales, supply chain management, and other related studies to your respective career found within the corrugated industry. Ann?
Thank you, Lindsay. Hello, everyone. It's special to be back on campus. I'm Ann Recke, and I graduated from Michigan State this past spring with a degree in communications and a specialization in public relations. Through ICPF's career portal and social network, I, like hundreds of others this past year, was alerted to career opportunities in the corrugated packaging industry. And like Lindsay last year and dozens this year, I was assisted by ICPF's network in acquiring initial interviews with top executives in the industry. Through ICPF, I was recruited by Landell Packaging Systems here in Central Michigan, and after an extensive training program, also like Lindsay, I now serve as a corporate sales representative. I did not have a background in the corrugated packaging and displays industry, but I always knew I wanted to go into sales. I feel this industry leads to many opportunities for innovation and creativity, which attracted me to this industry and career. ICPF's principal purpose for the production of this annual teleconference is to provide you more insight to the corrugated and packaging display industry, and to issue an invitation and challenge to each of the students here. If you are a packaging, graphic design, business, marketing and sales, supply chain, or related student, I invite you to consider a career in the corrugated packaging and display industry. It is a $25 billion a year industry, and it creates the most sustainable and environmentally friendly packaging on the planet. Most importantly, upon entering the industry after graduation, you will play a major role in developing even more sustainable packaging for a greener planet tomorrow. I really encourage you to learn more about careers and job openings by visiting www.careersincorrugated.org. There in the career portal, you can view entry-level job openings, and everyone should post their resume for an internship or for a full-time position if you're planning to graduate this year. Many executives who are thinking about hiring can see your resume there. Also, everyone should join ICPF's LinkedIn Career and Internship Network by emailing your request to join the network to info@icpfbox.org. It was this ICPF social network that initially alerted me to the special opportunities in the corrugated and packaging display industry.
And today we'd like to welcome Appalachian State University. Welcome Professor John Kraft and your students. John, I understand you and your students are making great use of the ICPF CAD table.
Bowling Green State University. This is the second year for Bowling Green's visual communication students who recently began studying the corrugated curricula. This past semester, Bowling Green integrated structural design into its program utilizing ICPF CAD tables and Ardios software. Many of the Bowling Green students already have co-ops with ICPF partners like Green Bay Packaging and Buckeye Boxes. A recent graduate was hired by Mid-Atlantic Packaging this summer. Not a bad record for a recent startup. Welcome Dr. Troutman, Professor Fugit, and the Falcons.
Cal Poly State University. Cal Poly is a perennial teleconference participant and recipient of a myriad of equipment from ICPF. A Cal Poly team qualified this year for ICPF's Best of the Best competition, which will be later on in our program. Both the Packaging and Graphic Communications Department are joining us this year. Welcome Dr. Jay Singh, Dr. Saha, and the Mustangs.
Clemson University, home to the BOPS corrugated press and other equipment donated through ICPF. Welcome again to Professors Liam O'Hara, Bob Moore, Andrew Hurley, and their students from both the Graphic Communication and Packaging departments. The two programs have been participating together in the ICPF Teleconference for the past 6 years. Over the past 2 years, Clemson graduates have been hired through the ICPF network by ICPF partner firms like American Packaging and Liberty Containers.
College of DuPage. DuPage is a new teleconference participant that has developed a proposal to add a corrugated packaging degree into its graphic design program. Welcome, Professor Sean Dudek.
Dunwoody College of Technology, another graphic communications program recipient of an ICPF CAD table and software. I recently viewed a video of a Dunwoody College student, Matt Thomas, who through ICPF landed a student internship about a year ago with Liberty Container. He was hired full-time as a packaging designer at Liberty Container upon his graduation last summer. Welcome Professor Pete Rivard and your students.
Illinois State University. ISU has also incorporated ICPF's online corrugated curricula into its graphic communication classes. Welcome to Professor Dan Wilson and your graphic communication students. Also, Lewis and Clark State College. Welcome to Professor Brian Kolstad and your students from the beautiful state of Ohio for your second teleconference. The graphic communications program incorporated a CAD table and Ardios design software into its curricula last year. For those of you who don't know, the Lewis and Clark campus is literally adjacent to the Washington State border. The river boundary runs along the western edge of the campus. Welcome.
Michigan State University. And let's hear it from Professor Bruce Hart, Sue Selke, Diana Tweedy, Dennis Young, and other faculty, and the Spartan Packaging students here at Michigan State University. Go Green! Go White! We also have several guests with us today in the MSU audience. We have Austin from Millersville University. Please stand up. We also have Nick and Tyler from Virginia Tech University. Please stand. And my mentor and boss, Bob Landel from Landel Packaging Systems. Bob, please stand. Thank you.
Mohawk College. Welcome Professor Sean McNaughton and your student teams that have qualified to compete in the Best of the Best competition today. This is the third year in a row that Mohawk teams have qualified for ICPF's annual Best of the Best competition. Welcome Mohawks.
Millersville University. Welcome Professor Mark Snyder and his students. Millersville University has only been an ICPF educational partner for 2 years, and one of its student designs teams qualified for the Best of the Best design competition in the university's first year of instruction on the ICPF CAD table and Ardios software. The university program has generated graduates in the past year who have been hired by a couple of ICPF partner corporations, including Buckeye Corrugated and Packaging Corporation of America.
North Carolina A&T State University. Another ICPF CAD table recipient. Welcome to Professor Dr. Cynthia Thompson and your students. North Carolina State. a first-time teleconference participant. Welcome Pat Hill and her paper and science engineering students. Go Wolfpack! Pennsylvania College of Tech. Welcome again to this year, Professor Jim Lentz and your graphic design students.
University of Florida. Welcome Professor Bruce Welt. We are pleased to have you back this year. Numerous 2010 and 2011 graduates from Florida have been recruited to the corrugated industry through ICPF. Clearly you're making good use of the CAD table and software ICPF provided for you 5 years ago.
University of Wisconsin Stout. A welcome to Packaging Program Director Michael Lorenzen and your students. UW Stout Packaging is a regular participant in the ICPF's teleconference. Glad to have you here.
Virginia Tech. Welcome Professors Robert Bush and Young Kim and your packaging students. Several years ago, Virginia Tech was a recipient of an ICPF CAD table, RDO software, and compression and shock testers. Virginia Tech regularly uses ICPF industry speakers resources for its classes. Industry speakers and tours lead to other opportunities for faculty and students. Just ask Shannon Riley, who landed a student internship this past summer with Triad Packaging, after Triad's Chief Operating Officer, Mike Farron, spoke at her class last year.
All right, we will now go to our panel speakers, and the PowerPoints utilized by our speakers today will be available next week by emailing info@ipcfbox.org. After the panel completes its presentation, we will then go to you, the college and university students out there, for your questions. I ask that during the panel session, faculty collaborate your students to come up with a question and a backup question in case a school ahead of you asks your question. Please write them down and be immediately ready with your questions, as we'll try to get to all campuses. Speakers, please keep your responses brief and to the point. After your questions are answered, we will hold our 11th Best of the Best student design competition. The first and second place winners in the 2007 AICC design competition will compete for top cash prizes. I will also tell you how to enter the 2012 AICC design competition, so stay tuned. So why has the corrugated industry thrived for many years, for more than 100 years, as other industries have slipped into oblivion? Corrugated is an agile, sustainable product, and it does a whole lot more than protect and ship products. It offers tremendous creative capabilities in meeting customers' packaging and display needs, while minimizing its impact on the environment. A graphic example of this is the hotly competitive retail market in which corrugated has excelled in grabbing consumer attention and selling product. Recently, Coca-Cola told the Wall Street Journal that consumers respond more to the package than they do the brand. That's power, and that's corrugated today in the marketplace. Whether you're a packaging, graphic communications, business, supply chain, or marketing and sales student, you should know that careers in corrugated packaging are challenging and rewarding, and it's only corrugated packaging that positively supports our environment. Our panelists will tell you more. First up is Brett Kirkpatrick, the Chief Operating Officer for Bay Cities. Bay Cities is an award-winning independent manufacturer of packaging and high graphic displays. Brett joined Bay Cities in 1986 as a package designer and has held increasingly responsible positions at Bay Cities. Brett's a great guy, handsome, funny, a team player, and I'm not just saying this because he signs my monthly paycheck. Maybe I am, but welcome, Brett.
Thanks, Lindsay. You forgot Swab and Debonair to those two lists there, but you know, it's a pleasure signing your checks every month, especially as they increase. As your sales grow on, they just keep going up. So that's really, really cool to see that. This is my 12th teleconference. For the last 11, I've had the opportunity to be the moderator, and I was promoted this year to the industry panel of experts. So it's quite an honor. I'm looking forward to addressing everybody on a little different level than in the past 11 years. But it's been really a lot of fun coming to Michigan in the month of February and enjoying the snow. It's kind of cool. Coming from Southern California, I don't get to see that very often unless I drive up the local mountains, but it's usually not as cold as this. What I'd like to talk about really is career opportunities in the independent corrugated sector. And we're talking about today an integrated viewpoint and really an independent viewpoint of our industry. So really, you're going to get a perspective what it's like from an independent box plant. Our companies on the independent side are structured really typically these ways: family-owned, employee-owned, which is what Bay Cities is. We're employee-owned. Publicly traded, independent versus integrated, individual integrated and individual independents, and multiple operations in multiple states. So there's a myriad of ways that these companies can be set up and still be an independent company. Having fun with Corrugated. You know, some of you don't think, well, that's kind of boring and how could I have fun with Corrugated? But let me tell you, one important thing, no matter what career you go into, no matter what field, you have to have fun in what you're doing. And it's so key to when you wake up every day, you have to be energized and pumped about what you're doing. And if you're not, you should consider another career. That's just kind of a fundamental blanket kind of a thing. But I tell you what, in the last 26, it'll be 26 years this October, I have had a lot of fun and done a lot of cool things in the corrugated industry, working on the independent side. Corrugated is really used in almost every industry. In an independent setting, you're able to pitch your ideas. Typically, it's a smaller format, so everyone's voice is heard. Everyone knows you, and you know everyone. So it's not like you're a number. Typically, in an independent plant, it's almost like a family, and really everyone's working towards a common set of goals every day to move our business forward. With everything going green now, obviously Corrugated is fully sustainable, and really it's a great product. I'm excited about it. It's been around for a long time, but we're poised as an industry right now to really be propelled into the future. With Corrugated is not going away. There's a picture of the Fong chair. This was a designer. I put this in here because one of our designers, Fong Cho, created this. We patented it. We TM'd it. And this is it right here. It's this is our production piece. So it weighs about 8 pounds. It supports about 300. And it's a kind of a cool marketing piece. They retail for like 15 bucks. So it's kind of a lightweight, fun thing. That guy got his name on the board because he created that. He was a designer for that, and now he's moved back to China, but he still has the Fong he left behind here in the U.S. and in his memory. Different arenas of Corrugated, point-of-purchase displays. These are all the different, really, most common uses, let's say. Counter displays, floor displays, pallet displays, and the retail packaging sector, their sales kits and different items using that material. And protective packaging, which is like the industrial box or the protective shipment used for Corrugated, which is probably the most traditional. So you can see in these areas, these are some examples of what a lot of the independents design, and you're not always designing and building Corrugated. If you look on the left, you see the We Fit game there. That's a little Corrugated counter tray. But on the right, that's a cosmetic piece, obviously. And the back card is Corrugated with a litho-laminate on it, and it's a vacuum form tray. So we're designing using SolidWorks, we're designing the vacuum form tray. We don't have that capability to manufacture in-house, but we're sending that outside. But it's our specs, it's our design, it's our drawings, and we're the ones in control of that product. So we're integrating different mediums, different substrates, different things into packaging. So if you go to an independent, you're not just going to be working in Corrugated. More than likely, you're going to be crossing all kinds of lines. This was a cool display we made for Sky, and they asked us to do like a paparazzi type of kind of approach. So we put some LEDs, they flash for 90 days, and when you go into the store, it's kind of popping at you, and it just pulls you over and wants you to grab that bottle of vodka off there. So it's kind of a cool way just to use different, there's electronics, there's harnesses. We're now incorporating video in displays. We've got 2x2 inch screens that are super cheap, and they can be loaded with 30, 90 seconds of video, and we're putting those into displays. So you walk up, it's interactive, you push the button, or it's motion sensed, and you can hear about the product. That's really fresh. How many of you play Angry Birds? A few? All right, so I love Angry Birds. My kids play it more than me, but they buy a ton of displays, and there's a ton of these little plush toys in Walmart, and that's just one way to move product. This is an efficient way of use of Corrugated to get it in, load the product, get it out, and into the retail chain. So that's a half pallet display. These are some other retail packaging, Lost series in the middle. We did a specialty piece out in LA. We do a lot of entertainment stuff. And wine on the left, and then there's an educational pack. So really, you start talking about it, you go to the movies, and there's a big giant Corrugated display there. It's everywhere. You cannot escape Corrugated, I'm telling you. And then, of course, the industrial protective packaging, the most common, ship A to ship B, point and reduce the damage. So you have a say. Typically, the independent places are smaller. And like I said earlier, your opinion counts. It's easier to climb the ladder. If you look at the example of myself, I started as a graphic or as a structural designer, learned some graphics, and ping-ponged and worked everywhere through our organization to become the COO last year. So yeah, it's a long road. Yeah, you got to do a lot of work, but you really learn your business from the inside out, and those opportunities exist. I tell you, in the independent sector right now, there's not a lot of young people that have come in that are in succession plans for the future. So that's a kind of a key point. If you go to one of these companies and you interview with them and you talk to them and you lay out what your interests are, you can very much likely get into a succession planning form with them, and they'll groom you along to do bigger and better things if you're into management and executive management and that kind of thing. So it's some good opportunities there. We love to promote from within. We've had the most success bringing in people like yourselves into a design position, a marketing position, a sales position, and then move them within the company, just like I was saying. So really, it's great to get in at ground level and kind of just be there and learn as much as you can and embrace the whole business. And individuality, be your own person. I mean, that's what it's about. We've been compared to, and a lot of the independents are compared to being almost like a Zappos type of environment. I mean, it's just fun, and it's really open, and the architecture is not like this. It's really flat as far as an org chart goes, and it's really cool. So, Salesforce, be part of a team. If you look at the Salesforce, the key thing here is fast, fast, fast. In the independent market, we execute faster than our integrated brethren in most cases, because we have the ability to not have a lot of, or really have a lot of streamlined processes that cut straight to executing for the client. A lot of the independents, we consider our service like a Nordstrom's. Okay, you can call in, you can talk to the receptionist, you can talk to somebody, get an answer, you can execute a project very quickly, and it's fast. And if Lindsay said it, it's fast, fast, fast. It's never dull. It's never the same thing. It's always changing. And so that's a good thing about the day, because it makes it go by really quick. You work in the industry and market you want to work in. If you are in sales and you want to focus in on beverage companies, you can go for it on beverage companies. That's like so deep. You can go there on all these energy drinks and just make that your market within that company. You can go for sports equipment. You can go for whatever you like as an interest. You can target those companies to sell them packaging, because they all need it. It's a competitive yet friendly atmosphere. There's a lot of acknowledgement, and you make your mark. If you're, in sales, people look up to you that, hey, this is the guy or the girl that's really generating this business that keeps us all employed and keeps generating new orders and dollars coming in and revenue stream. So a lot of people look up to you in sales as, you're the one really providing indirectly my income, and it's pretty cool. This is just a shot of some of the Bay City's fun things. There's our design manager on the bottom left. That's our building up top. And on the right, that's our marketing department. We had a 55th anniversary, and we all wore tie-dye shirts, and it was kind of a fun. We had a reggae band and everything. It was pretty cool. Target markets in our industry. These are some of the main markets that the independents focus on: electronics, health and beauty, pharmaceutical, sports and rec, food and beverage, wine and spirits, and entertainment. Okay, those are some of the, and here's just some examples of those typical clients. You can see Virgin. We do a lot of cell phone work, SanDisk, and Nintendo. In the health and beauty, there's some different examples of the vacuum form tray with a corrugated back card or a corrugated counter display. Pharmaceutical. Now, some of these that I'm showing you, some are actual photo shots of completed projects, and some are what we call sell sheets. We do a lot of renderings, and we might pitch a client with 2 or 3 concepts for a display without ever putting knife to paper and cutting out a sheet of corrugated, like the one in the middle. That's a concept, and they just can pick from there which one they like, and then we'll put that and go ahead and make a structure and go ahead and put graphics and kind of make it. But we have to kind of get in their head and see really what they want and they don't know half the time. So you got to do this this rendering. We use a lot of software programs like Studio 3D Max, which is one of them. It's kind of a rendering software that allows us to make a product look like it's completed and done and sitting there. Sports and rec, there's some of those, always like dark colors and kind of bulky. It's guy stuff. Reds and blacks, right? Food and beverage, some examples there of a dump bin, bulk bin display, maybe quarter pallet display. And again, there's the Sky Vodka. Entertainment, tell you, talk about challenges. This sector is the most demanding and the most critical with deadlines. When a display is due to hit in a store, and let's say it's supposed to be there Friday before a President's Day weekend, because they're expecting a big draw of people on a 3-day weekend to go to the movies, it has to be there. There's TV ads, radio ads, internet ads, all tied to the launch date, and it's printed on the matter as well, dates and so on. So you can't call your customer and say, yeah, Mr. Paramount Studios, we need an extra day on that because the board kind of delaminated and we have to get some new board. That conversation can't happen. So it's really all about quality and about really the service to make those happen. The sustainable advantage, kind of like it was touched on earlier, really energy savings in making packaging and recycling packaging. It takes about a third of the cost to recycle a ton of paper and corrugated it does to recycle a ton of plastic. So it's really just from that standpoint a sustainable option for cradle to cradle. And then look at packaging reduction. That's being driven by Walmart. Does everybody know what WWW stands for? It's not World Wide Web, it's what Walmart wants. And that's what you have to learn when you're supplying to Walmart. They are the 800-pound gorilla. And when they say we're going to reduce 5% of all packaging in our store by 2015, we figure out a way to get that done. So they're the biggest driver of that with the 7 Rs and the whole thing. You guys may or may not know about that. But if you get into packaging, you will. The FSC, we most of the independents and most of the box plants today in the U.S. and Canada and Mexico, for that matter, are part of the FSC Forest Stewardship Council and the SFI Sustainable Forestry Initiative. So these two entities have set guidelines and standards that if we make a box or a package or a display, we can track that piece back to the roll of paper, back to the forest it came from, all the way through the process. So that way it ensures that we're not chopping down ancient forests and we're endangering spotted owls and things like that that we don't want to do. We want to really keep that as sustainable. And really what we're doing is we're planting 7 trees for every one we pull out. So it's a business. It's a process, and we are ensuring that we are going to have a long longevity of really providing our raw materials to ourselves in the way of pulp and paper. Let's see, the Walmart Sustainable Coalition scorecard. This is along the sustainability. They developed this about 7 years ago, and there's a lot of box plants in the independents that are sitting on the panel. Really, as industry representing to Walmart, what can we do as corrugated industry to provide solutions that reduce the amount of fiber and reduce packaging being provided to Walmart through their suppliers of products. So that's a big deal, and that's not going to go away for sure. The demand is increasing for corrugated, really in the sectors that the independents are working on, all those ones I laid out there. Going green is not going away. I have small kids, and they're asking me, my 4th grader's asking me, when am I going to get an electric car so that I leave something on the planet for her kids? And she just directly relates that. Like if I'm holding the refrigerator open, she says I'm killing polar bears. I don't know, they teach them this stuff at a young age that, you're creating global warming, and it's just, so this packaging, I explained to her how I'm in an industry that's sustainable, and she gets it. So as long as she gets it, I'm good. We're eliminating plastic. That's a big deal for us. I talked about the recycling issues there. Everybody needs packaging. All clients need packaging. All things are shipped in packaging. It's promoting, it's advertising, it's merchandising, it's selling product, and it's moving and pushing along the American economy. Displays are cost effective, and really we could create pretty packaging. We had an intern once, and he stood up in front of a industry local chapter meeting in front of maybe like 25 different box makers, and they put him up on the stage, and he said, what do you do? What does your company do? What do you think of this industry? And he looked at everybody and said, you all make fancy trash. And we said, well, yeah, at the end of the day, that's kind of what it is. It's pretty, it's got graphics on it, but it ends up in the recycling center. It comes back as more products. It keeps morphing. And it gives it a modern, eco-friendly look also. We have a lot of people requesting craft, natural craft look. It's kind of a cool, sustainable feel. The independent corrugators, really, if you look at recruitment, there is our wacky team of about 45 people in the office. We're all the owners at Bay City. Since we're an ESOP, we own the business, and there's another 65, 70 guys that are in the factory that run all the machines and do all that stuff. So that's kind of like a family type atmosphere. Business management, like I said, there's a lot of independents that are ESOP, employee owned. A lot of roundtable discussions. Really, your opinions and your voice is heard, and it matters. It's really an open architecture, I would say, in most independent firms. And making a difference is constant. We're always looking at a way to better ourselves, better our company, and better our service for our clients. And you'd be surprised who those ideas come from. It's just everybody collectively working together towards a common goal. Sales and marketing, be your own voice. You're out there identifying users, conducting proper market research and analysis. You're working with many brands, so that's kind of a fun thing. I go into our design department, and it is like a retail store in there. There are products and things, and what's cool about it is I always like to see what's the new up-and-coming product, and I kind of judge, is that going to make it or not? You know, maybe it's not such a good idea. Maybe it is, but we'll do our best to get them out in the retail area so they can sell that product and try to make it fly. You work with hand in hand with marketing team. Our marketing team is connected with our sales team, and that's an area of employment that we're always bringing in new people. It's a lot of research. It's a lot of setting up appointments, going on appointments with sales teams. It's really just kind of like a generation engine for sales, the marketing team. And they've got a few different functions also in the social media area with Facebook and Twitter and LinkedIn. The marketing department kind of heads up the internet, the website, all that stuff, and keep it looking fresh. And thank you notes. That's a big deal. Sending thank you notes, you don't think about it, but really receiving a card, not just an email, but receiving a card is kind of a cool personal. How many of you receive cards anymore? Maybe from your grandma? But it's not very often that we get cards. So we send out cards. We like cards. So how could that be boring? Looking at the names and logos on there, if you were working in corrugated industry, an independent firm, that doesn't say boring very much, to me anyway. So that's kind of a fun thing to look at and say, well, I could probably work in those companies or do something with those companies. Being in structural design, structural integrity of design is so important. And what we've done, and a lot of independents do with their design departments, we have a large design department. We got graphic structures and structural designers, and you've got structural and graphic. And really what we're doing is cross-training both of them. And really, so we're bringing the structure into the graphic people's world, showing them Artios CAD and some of these other softwares that they can lay out a CAD template, and then bringing the graphic side, getting Adobe Illustrator and those things into the people that are the structure people, to really kind of cross them up, because that's the best value you have to bring to a company is if you are versed in both. Okay, I really tell you that as a tip. It's a good thing. And if you're interested in graphic or structural design, if you get some familiarity with both of them, you're going to be a head start. Make sure a product arrives to the destination with no damage, but yeah, that's key in the structural packaging designer's world, and create a balance of structure and aesthetics. It's got to look good. Everything can't look like a box. You know, it's got to have curves and be rounded and kind of be edgy, and that's really what generates the sale and gives our sales rep the ability to sell something that's unique and different from the next guys. And there's a picture of a structural designer kind of folding up a little display there. All right, and there's our wacky design team, minus one person who took the picture. I don't know why he didn't think to have somebody else take it and get in there, but he's our design manager, George. He took that picture. So that's like a fun group, diverse group of people that are just really working to have a lot of fun. Well, our last structural designer, I'm sorry, graphic designer, second guy on the left, he came from Marvel. He was a comic book designer. And he, for the first 3 months, everything he did looked like a cartoon. And he really got on board with what we do and how we do it, and he's done an outstanding job. He's one of our most creative guys. But everyone there really represents their own unique flair and ability to come up with creative graphic and structural designs. It's really cool. The graphic team, you're creating eye-catching art and graphics. We have a mixture of some clients give us the art assets and they say have fun with it, and some people say we need a logo created. So we're really doing everything from A to Z, and some clients already have the layouts done and we're just kind of making some changes to them. So it could be a real diverse set of things you're working on at any time, or multiple brands at one time, just like that says. Demonstrate creativity, understanding of computer graphics software, ability to envision art in 3 dimensions. That's pretty key, especially when it gets to the manufacturing process too. You got to think about how something can be created and not just be cut on a CAD table and exist, but how it's going to be manufactured. How are we going to make 10, 20, 50,000 of these things? We can make one all day long in a lab, but not repeat that so much. So really be creative. It's using the left brain, right? Because the right side is used more than the left typically. So it's encouraged, and we want you to be creative. This is a picture. Yeah, see, Jesse did this. Got the Marvel. Marvel actually came to us and wanted a store within a store concept, and this was like a whole thing. I just want to demonstrate. This is not just designing a package. I mean, you could be working on something, designing a whole store within a store concept, and that's pretty big. That's a big scale when you start looking at things like that. Production, safety is always first. Technically challenging, fast-paced, quality-focused, and again, critical deadlines, because those deadlines that happen with the clients, with the sales, and all up front with the design, that just transcends right on through into the plant, and our processes have to be efficient. And there's a picture of our world-class operation there in LA area. And this looks like most independent plants. Really, it does. All right, so the next slide is kind of a graph I put together real quick of what the typical positions are and kind of the entry-level starting rates for an annual salary, and then what you could be making in a couple of years. And this is average, and it really depends on your skills and your abilities to progress and what you could bring to the beginning also. So if you look at this, I mean, sales, everyone kind of starts out in the same area, and then really obviously the sales is where the money's at in our industry, because you're out there creating that experience with the client over and over, and just marketing and really selling our business. So that's encouraging. That's what Lindsay's going for, right? Yeah. Like I said, those checks keep getting bigger and bigger. That's good. So those are, hopefully gives you kind of an insight of where we're at in our industry and the independent side and what's going on. Okay, so thank you for your time and attention, and we'll have the question and answer period right after we hear from our next speaker.
Thank you, Brett. Our next speaker is Gary Parafinzik. Gary is Vice President of Human Resources for Rock 10's Corrugated Packaging and Recycling Division. Rock 10 is one of North America's largest producers of corrugated and consumer packaging and recycling solutions, with annualized net sales of approximately $10 billion. Based in Norcross, Georgia, the corporation employs approximately 26,000 people and operates more than 245 facilities in the United States, Canada, South America, and China. Mr. Parafinzik joined Rock 10 in 2009, and he directs the division's Human Resource Administration, Talent Management, Employee Relations and Training, and Organizational Development. Gary?
Thank you, Ann. Good afternoon, everybody. And looking at that last slide that Brett put up, I'm thinking my company pays just a little better than his. But here's what I'd have to say about that. His slide, I think, is fairly representative of entry-level compensation. But whether it's with my company, Rock 10, or Brett's company, or any company in the corrugated packaging industry, I think what you're going to find, and what's good about it, that I happen to like, it's a meritocracy. You can earn your success and earn your compensation based on how well you're going to perform when you finally get into that job. And at Rock 10, we promote that. We're a big company now. We're a very different company from what we were just a year ago. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about me and Rock 10, and then talk a little more generally about the corrugated packaging business. So I've already been introduced. The one thing that stands out in terms of my biography, really, that relates to what we're talking about today, is the fact that I've raised 3 children who graduated from college, and they're just a little older than you. They've gone out into the working world, and they've managed to find jobs. None in my business yet, but they're all doing well. So I've seen what they had to go through to get jobs after graduating from college. Rock 10, as I said, it's a very different company from what it was a year ago. A year ago, Rock 10 was a company that had 10,000 employees and was about $3 billion in revenue. Then we decided to acquire Smurfit Stone, which was a very large player, twice as big as Rock 10. We're now a company that has over 25,000 employees, and we're just under $10 billion in revenue as a company. So that puts us, depending on who's keeping score, probably the #2 corrugated packaging company, well, packaging company in North America. If you look at the 3 bullets on this slide, it's sort of the fundamentals of how we go about running Rock 10 and what we stand for: product innovation and customer satisfaction. I'm going to say a little bit about that in a minute. Cost-effective manufacturing. We are a manufacturing-based company. Frankly, it's something that I believe is fundamental. When you think about a career and you think about what kind of contribution am I going to make, manufacturing in this country is one of the bedrock principles and foundations to our economy. It's what makes this country great, because it's one of the fundamentals that creates our wealth and our standard of living. It's one of those things that needs to be here, and certainly when you talk about the corrugated packaging business, it's going to be around a long time, because everybody needs packaging, right? And in order to stay in business, I'll say a little bit more about cost-effective manufacturing, but low cost wins in our business. We have to provide customer requirements at the lowest possible cost, and that's our mantra every day we go to work. And then when it comes to people and careers, I'll have something to say about how we invest and how we develop people within Rock 10, and what I believe is a very nice opportunity for you in corrugated packaging in general. As I said, we're a very different company from what we were a year ago. Now, combined with the acquisition of Smurfit Stone, we're the largest paper recycler in the U.S. We move about 9 million tons of waste paper recycled product through our system. The second bullet there, we're the largest preprint liner board producer. That's the laminate that goes on products like you have here in the displays. It's a growing business, and we're the largest player in producing that high-impact product, high-impact graphic product. We're in the same business that Brett's in. We don't tread on his territory in terms of markets. We're in other areas, but we're in that business. We're the second largest producer of container board. So as an integrated, we start at the very beginning of the process. We make the liner board and the medium, and then we convert it into various products, and then of course distribute it, sell it, and then recycle old corrugated container and other waste paper and feed it back into the process. So we're a closed loop manufacturing process and business where that's concerned. When I say we're the second largest producer of container board, that means we've got 14 container board mills, mostly in the eastern United States, producing about 8 million tons of product, that most of which goes into our system of box plants and other converting plants, which number just over 100 throughout the U.S. And box plants, as I said, we've got about 100 of those, and then we're also the second largest producer of coated recycled board. That's in another business called folding cartons. So if you go into a supermarket, almost every container, every box that you could look at, there's a chance that now Rock 10 makes it, whether it's one of these little folding cartons or whether it's one of the larger corrugated containers that houses the product. I put this slide in here to demonstrate the notion around old economy industries and businesses versus new economy, meaning .com type businesses. And the question is, and it's probably on a lot of people's minds, well, you know, if you go into the corrugated business, is it a stable business? Is it a successful business? Well, if you happen to have invested in Rock 10 stock back in 1999, as of 2011, it was worth, I think that's $327 is what's up there. I can't see it very well. But the point is, Rock 10 has done very well, and it's not just Rock 10, but the corrugated packaging business has been very stable vis-a-vis other businesses, other industries that you find throughout the U.S. This just happens to be one shining example of that. In Rock 10, we've got 5 business areas, and again, the biggest difference between Brett's company and mine is we're just much larger scale, and we have a much larger portfolio. So we are in a lot of different areas, and here, of course, we've got the corrugated packaging, the basic box business, consumer packaging, that's the folding carton business that is also a big part of Rock 10. Recycling and waste solutions I've talked about, merchandising, displays, again, another big part of our business of what we have in Rock 10, and then specialty paperboard products. Those are things like if you go in and buy a case of wine and you see those little separators that separate the bottles of wine, that's a specialty paperboard product that we make, and it's a very successful business for us. So we're big, 25,000 plus employees. We've got over 240 facilities, most of them in the U.S., and some in South America, and a couple locations in China. When you look at our products, I've already gone through most of those. I think one of the more interesting ones on this list that we just added through acquisition, if you look at our food service packaging, Rock 10 is now the biggest supplier of pizza boxes. So for college students that are having their local pizza, check the box. There's at least a 50% chance that we made it. I want to talk a little bit about customer-driven innovation, because when you look at starting a career and saying, well, you know, is this going to lead to anything that's fun and interesting? If you look at the first bullet there, automated packaging systems, we don't just pay lip service to innovation. In our company, we not only look at creative design for our customers around a particular package that they need, we also look at the equipment and design packaging equipment that fits the product. So if a customer comes to us and they want a particular kind of package product, will not only design that, but if need be, based on their particular requirements, we can design and build the machinery that will work with that product. Again, when we talk about an integrated corrugated business, we're talking about starting at the very beginning where we get the fiber. In this case, we're showing a picture of the recycling there, but we also then have to supplement our containerboard mills with virgin fiber. We're about 55% virgin fiber, 45% recycled fiber in terms of our mix across our 14 containerboard mills. And we would use recycling 100% if it was available, but there just isn't enough of it to go around. The global demand for recycling is growing each and every day. So talk a little bit about the corrugated packaging industry, and some of this I'll go through quickly because Brett's covered some of it. But the best reason to think about the corrugated industry as a career, if you look at the first bullet there, the economy can't live without us. 95% of all manufactured products are shipped in some kind of container that we make. And a corrugated fiber-based container is a very versatile, environmentally friendly product. As far as employment opportunities, if you look at the breadth of our industry, based on Fiber Box Association data, there's 80,000 plus people involved in our business. I think that's a very conservative estimate, and I'm sure that's growing from a job point of view. In terms of sustainability, Brett's covered most of this. I think the only thing I'd point out that's additive to what he had to say, if you look at the third bullet there, around 17% of the wood consumed worldwide each year is used for paper making. And frankly, a lot of that in terms of virgin fiber is now coming from Southern Hemisphere producers who produce fiber by harvesting it, frankly, in a farming kind of approach where they set up fast-growing harvested areas, and that supplies the pulp that is coming from the Southern Hemisphere. We will always be a user of recycled fiber, but again, that's got to be something that is based on the availability in the market. Also, in terms of sustainability, the general deal here is we're environmentally friendly in a way where we are constantly trying to reduce the amount of fiber that we use in our products. That's something that's demanded by our customers. Walmart, as an example, as Brett mentioned, is a big driver of that, but so are all of our other big customers like Procter & Gamble and many of the beverage companies like Anheuser-Busch. Talking about careers, again, data from FBA says there's something like 1,250 businesses, facilities, locations across the U.S. Again, I think that's a conservative estimate, and it really doesn't matter whether you're focused on some kind of packaging degree or something else. If you come into this business, guys like me who graduated a long time ago with a degree in political science found his way into the paper and packaging business. It has more to do with your interest and your drive to be successful in that particular business than what college you graduated from and what kind of people you know. It's more about what you choose to do to earn your success in this business. But just about anything you're interested in, that demand is there in terms of a function a discipline that you would pursue. So I guess we're down to questions.
Thank you, Gary. All right, now we're going to hear some questions from our students out there. Appalachian State, are you out there? Oh.
Good afternoon.
How are you?
We're great. How are you guys?
We're good.
I guess our question is, with the rise in technology, how has LinkedIn and social media changed how you recruit and hire recent graduates and interns, and what do you look for in their profiles?
I think since Gary's in HR,
Sure.
do you do hiring? You want to take this?
Well, if you're not on LinkedIn, you better be, because that's probably one of the top 3 sites that we go to every time we have an opening. And you can communicate with me or almost anybody else in any number of key positions that you can make a contact with. But LinkedIn, very powerful. I'd say less with Facebook. And then, of course, we have the job boards like the one with ICPF that you should have your resume posted on if you don't already, if you're interested in this business. So those professional job boards, along with things like Career Builder, which most people do, very important to have your resume posted when you're in a job search.
Thank you.
If I could just add, with ICPF, as Gary mentioned, we do have a career portal that's essential for you to list your resumes on. You can search jobs there as www.careersandcorrugated.org. And also we have an ICPF LinkedIn network with over 1,000 students and faculty and executives that are participating in that LinkedIn network, career network. So if you're specifically interested in the corrugated business, you have access to literally hundreds of locations across the country that are posting jobs. So we encourage you to join the LinkedIn network as well as the listing your resume and using the ICPF job portal to search for jobs.
Thank you.
You want to keep going? Bowling Green State University. There we go.
Okay, the 2 most important. Number 1, when I interview people, I want to answer the question, can they do the job? So there's the basics of what we're interviewing them for, and that means on the technical side of things, are they bringing to the table the basic smarts and skills, competencies that are needed for that job? The second thing is their interpersonal skills. Do they have the ability to work in a large organization? Do they have the ability to collaborate with people? Do they have skills where without vertical clout they can influence their coworkers, their peers, as well as their bosses and subordinates? So I'd summarize it that way.
Good. Cal Poly State University. Are you there?
Turn it on. Hi, this question is for Brett. What are 3 more specific technical skills that you look for in incoming students?
For which type of job?
That any of your jobs. Like, what's your most specific one? What would you hire more students out of?
Yeah, you know, what we're looking for design? Okay. We're looking for the ability to operate the software and really be creative. Those are the 2 probably, paramount things. But really what we hire is attitude. And I always look at a person and I say, are they weird enough to fit in? That's kind of a criteria. They've got to be kind of, fit in with the group and the family, and they've got to be able to work with that and fit in that department or with the company. So really, attitude is what is the main thing I look at in a person. Do they have the right attitude that they want to learn, they want to go forward, and they want to advance, and the rest will come. I mean, so really, we teach a lot of things. If you look at Lindsay, who came in, her training program to go into sales was 1 year. And that's very typical for that type of position. She's going to be in the trenches for a year. That's very common with independent corrugators. I know Landell has the same process.
So personal dynamics is more important to you guys because you're willing to kind of teach for every department that people are going into?
That's correct.
All right, sorry guys, we got to limit it. One question per campus. Clemson Graphic Communications and Packaging.
Hi, this question is for either of the panelists. We were wondering, what are some of the challenges faced to meet the Walmart scorecard program or other programs like it, and what is the industry doing to address these needs?
Yeah, I'll take it first. For us, the scorecard for Walmart is a challenge, but it's also an opportunity. It's an opportunity where we can work with our clients to help them be more efficient in their packaging. And really, when you partner up with a client at that level to get them thinking about sustainability and how we can help them, you've got a client for life. So really, for us, it's a good thing that exists because it just helps us sell deeper into the company.
Great, thank you. College of DuPage.
Hi, this is our first inaugural year, so we hope to participate next year. We don't have any questions at this time.
Oh, all right, thank you. Dunwoody College of Technology.
Hi, so we are wondering if there are any businesses where the graphic designer and the structural designer are the same person, and if so, can you name some names of the companies?
Yeah, I would say that speaking from the independent side, that all the independent companies in all the regions of the U.S. have crossbred people really that are structurally and graphically competent. Nowadays, it's just a necessity. And if they don't have that person on tap ready to hire or bring them in like that, they're cross-training them internally like we are in those departments. So I think going forward is just a standard way of looking at those, really combining them as one designer. Because when you're working on a project, think about it. It's great that, if you can structurally make a display or make a product that is going to hold up, but then you've got to hand it off to a person that may not completely understand how it's going to be viewed by the consumer to apply graphics to it. So you've got to have that interaction. So if it's all one person that can see the vision of the whole piece, it's just better.
Thanks, Brett. Illinois State University.
Yes, both companies produce sustainable products, but how do you market yourselves to customers to prove you're sustainable? Are there packaging companies joining member organizations like Sustainable Green Printers, or is there something else that packaging companies are joining?
That's a great question.
Well, if you, in the case of ROC 10, we're certified through a number of organizations that verify our environmentally friendly approach to things and the fact that we've got chain of custody on our materials. So the SFI, FSC that Brett talked about are a couple of internationally known organizations that verify and certify companies like ours as meeting environmental standards. With all of our large customers, whether it's Walmart, Procter & Gamble, some of the large beverage companies, Anheuser-Busch, we all have scorecards now that are related to sustainability, and there are strict standards that our sales executives and our business leaders have to be accountable for. And that's something that is kept score on a regular basis, and we have to deliver on those requirements.
Some of the things that we do parallel on the sourcing side, when we bring a client out for a plant visit and they want to kick the tires of our company, so to speak, we show them a presentation of all the things internally that we're doing to be sustainable and be green. And we do the walk, and we talk about our white roof that reflects the heat to keep our energy costs down. We talk about the variable AC drives we have throughout the plant that, you know, save energy, the T5 and T8 lighting that's been all changed out. All those things that internally are being done to be sustainable, we just really present that to them and let them go and check it out and give them ideas a lot of times for their own businesses. So really the proof's in the pudding, and if you get a client into your facility, that's when you really can show it off.
Thank you.
And also, if I could just add, there is an independent association, I believe it's the International Case Association, where the industry is collaborating on promoting the knowledge of the sustainability in the industry. And they're even talking about possibly contributing based upon the volume of product that they produce. So there is, you'll probably be hearing over the next 12 to 18 months more about that.
Thank you, Richard. Lewis and Clark? Mm-hmm. That was Lewis and Clark?
That was Illinois.
Lewis and Clark.
All right, it's your turn. Being the proud student of Lewis Clark State College that I am, I want to start off by clarifying that we are in Idaho, not Iowa, or Ohio, or wherever.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh,
I got a lot to
hard knocks,
memorize here.
And my question is, as a college student interested in potentially entering the corrugated packaging industry, what could I say to my family or peers to make a career in packaging sound more exciting?
There's a variety of things you can say. As a female, I know this doesn't really respond directly to your question, but as a female, it's highly lucrative. There's not many women in the industry. And also, like, you're coming in to an industry that is kind of combining business and engineering, and you're going to be utilizing every aspect of your degree. You're not going to be pushing papers behind a desk. And I mean, I don't know how tough your parents are to sell this to, but as long as you have a job, I mean, leaving college, I feel like you're kind of one step ahead of the crowd. Anne, what would you say?
I know my biggest thing after graduation was I was looking for a job with health insurance. So when I landed a job with health insurance, they were like, all right, cool, now what do you do? And so I said I sell brown boxes, just to make it simple, and then also display work, because you can go into detail with all the technical terms you learn, but when it really comes down to it, it's either you know, the thin board, you say like a cereal box, or cardboard. That's really how everyone else understands it. So I would just keep it simple, and then that's really all it is, because if they didn't take the classes, they won't care either way. All right, and so now this next question is for Michigan State University.
Hi, I wanted to know how you guys see demands for performance and application of corrugate changing over the next 5 years.
Brett, do you want to handle this?
Sure. What we're seeing really in following Europe is a movement to lightweight liners. That's probably the biggest movement that's going to happen, where we're able to get the stacking strength out of the board, the combined board, but reducing the fiber and reducing those liners. For example, we're able right now, typically a 32 ECT carton is a 35-pound liner with a 23 medium and a 35-pound outside. We're able to achieve that result of a 32 ECT with a 29, 23, 29. So we're taking basis weight out, we're reducing fiber content, and we're able to still provide the same stacking strength and reducing cost all at the same time. So that's lightweighting is probably number one. And number two, the other change I would say is really shelf-ready packaging and shelf-ready displays. Typically, you've heard of them as called PDQs, pretty darn quick. That's a Walmart term. They're now standardized as shelf-ready displays, SRDs, and shelf-ready packaging, RRP, retail-ready packaging. These are other terms where the retailers don't want to take a box, cut it open with a box cutter, and put the products on the shelf. They're spending 5 cents a case, 3 to 5 cents a case in labor in doing that. So imagine how many cases are going through the retailers that they're having to take out and put on the shelf. So they want a package that you can just pop the top, pull a strip, pull a perf, do something, and put that right on the shelf, and they want it too deep, so there's always one in the back. So that is coming at us also fast and quick, and it's going to be changing over the next 5 years. You're going to see a lot of packaging going to shelf-ready and retail-ready packaging with lightweight liners included. So it's fun. Those are probably the two biggest things.
All right, great. Thanks, Brett. And the next school is Millersville University.
Hi. This question is for either of the panelists. As a sustainable industry, do you foresee corrugated making its way into many other markets that currently do not utilize it?
Yeah, you know, it's corrugated products, we never kind of see an end to it. It's always evolving. One of the newest things that's kind of taken over is a corrugated trap pack blister card. How many of you, actually, who would know this? How many emergency room injuries happen per year because of people trying to get into plastic clamshell packaging to get the product out? Anybody want to guess? It's 16,000 a year, and it's called package rage. And you can't open the package, and you just get, mad at this thing, and you end up cutting it, and your knuckles get all bloody. So our industry's developed a paper clamshell that is still provides the theft, security, and the attributes of that clamshell, but it's more sustainable and that kind of thing. So I mean, 3 years ago we wouldn't have saw that as an opportunity, and now we're making those. There's a lot of them. So it's kind of like I guess really there's no limit. It's kind of endless. Into what markets and what industries corrugated paper can be introduced and used.
Great. Next we have Mohawk College.
We were wondering, a company who's not currently sustainable, what would you suggest they do to integrate sustainability into their company for either of the judges?
Well, it's now sustainability is a license to operate. So a company that doesn't have that on their agenda now and is working on it in a strategic and planned way to execute that and have it as part of their normal way of operating, they're not going to stay in business because all of our customers now, big and small, demand it in one way or another. So it has to be part of what they put into their business plan and execute against it.
Great, thank you. Now we have North Carolina A&T.
This question is for either panelists. One of the issues that we're having here would be your internships. It's a thing where in order to get an internship, you need experience, but the hard part is getting experience. Exactly around how much on average experience in programming for the design majors would you need in order to land an internship?
Speaking for my experience, when we choose interns, it really depends on what level of job we're looking at. I would say in many cases experience is not necessarily needed. It's more a case of during the interview process, did that individual demonstrate that they have the ability to learn on the job? And that's a combination of what you've demonstrated in terms of success with your schoolwork, and then also maybe what you've demonstrated from part-time jobs and how you have developed yourself and are ready to take on a responsibility, because our internships we treat as a regular job, and you're going to be evaluated in terms of performance as if you're doing a regular job. It's not a case of this is an internship where it's for the student to learn. We expect out of our internships that individual is going to produce and make a contribution.
Great, thank you. Next we have North Carolina State.
Yes. How do recent consolidations such as Rock 10 buying out Smurfit Stone or IP buying out Temple Inland affect the containerboard industry overall?
Well, hopefully for the better, and hopefully in terms of industry dynamics, and I won't get too much into it, but one of the things that's going on now, it doesn't matter what business it's in, but obviously what Brett and I like are when we can sustain a price level and increase prices based on demands for our products. And when you have a huge acquisition, as we went through with Smurfit Stone, and now what's going on where International Paper just bought Temple Inland, that tends to screw up the market temporarily. And so there's a lot of waiting around which way is the market going to go, and to some degree that gives us heartburn. But long term, in terms of the whole corrugated business, it needs to be a certain size, and the players we have now, when you look at International Paper, you look at Rock 10, you look at Georgia Pacific and the other big players, it's probably right-sized where it needs to be, at least for the moment, based on what kind of demand you have globally.
Great, thank you. Now we have Pennsylvania College of Technology.
Hi, I was wondering how much of all corrugated packaging is being recycled and how many times can it be recycled?
The latest number that was published by the FBA, I believe, is up around 82% of all corrugated cartons are being reclaimed and recycled. And a box can be recycled about 7 to 9 times before the fibers become so short that they're not able to be reformed, realigned into a sheet of paper. Hope that answers your question directly.
Great, thank you. Now we have University of Florida.
Hello.
Hello.
There we go.
We don't really have a question.
Okay. All right, next we have University of Wisconsin Stout.
As a senior in packaging and competing against many peers for jobs, what are some of the things that really stand out on a resume and in interviews? Basically, what are some of the main things you look for in a potential employee?
Well, I'll give a brief answer on that one. So I was asked that question last night at dinner by some of the students, and it's two basic things. One is what are you bringing to the table in terms of competence? So there's a basic entry-level access there around you've got to show that you've got competency based on how you did in your schoolwork, and probably whether you had internships or part-time jobs that demonstrate, yes, this person can succeed in the organization. And the other part of it is how you present yourself. First impressions count. How you do in an interview and your ability to articulate why you're the best person for that job matters. And as I said last night, everybody needs to have their elevator speech. When you get that chance during the interview, within a 30-second time frame to say, here's why I'm the best candidate, you got to be able to do that and do it in an appropriate way for that particular interview.
Great, thank you. And now Virginia Tech. Hello.
Oh, there we go.
This question is more centered towards Gary and the kind of recycled liner board that he brought up in his presentation. How how competitive is the printed recycled liner board compared to our common printed virgin liner board in printability and your feel?
Well, I think we would say that there's not much difference. Brett can probably speak more appropriately around the quality characteristics of both, but frankly, for us, we mix and match recycled and virgin fiber based on what requirements do we have in terms of our sustainability targets with various customers that may demand certain percentages versus others. And then after that, it comes down to what's the best mix that gives us the best cost. And that's a combination of what's the price of recycled versus what's the cost of virgin fibers. So we mix and match based on the cost of manufacture.
I would say from a structural standpoint that they're very parallel, virgin and recycled, but really if you look at printability, you've got to weigh the graphics of the project, look at what's involved, and it's not easy to print on a recycled liner because there's so many waxes and ink and glue and adhesives and things in that board that sometimes the ink wants to repel and not give you a nice lay and a good look. So if it's a graphics job, we try to specify maybe 70% virgin, 30% recycled. Just gives us a good mix of still having that nice printability, but gives us a little bit of recycled in there.
Thank you. Back to Appalachian State. Do we still have you? No? All right.
What level of software proficiency do you feel that students should have before applying for internships and permanent positions?
Well, I've got a strong opinion on that one. If an intern interviews with me or somebody else, if they don't have at least intermediate Excel spreadsheet skills, they aren't going to work for us because everything we do, we manage with spreadsheets. And if I had any piece of advice for everybody in this room and listening, you should know the Microsoft suite. You need to be as competent as you can be with Word, Excel, PowerPoint, because that is the language of business. And whether it's Rock-10 or any other company, we're data-driven organizations that manage everything with spreadsheets, so you have to be good at it.
Great. All right, Bowling Green State University.
Rock-10 participate in any consumer education regarding corrugated and sustainability?
Yeah, so there's a number of ways that we do it. We belong to a number of associations. The Fiber Box Association is one that, again, as an association, promotes through communities and our customers our approach around sustainability. I think from a company standpoint, we invest a lot in our corporate communications process to make sure that we're communicating with customers as well as all stakeholders, whether it's the communities that we do business in, and dealing with the state and local governments. So it's a combination of working with our associations, whether it's Fiber Box Association, American Forest Products Association, and our corporate communications group, getting the word out about what we do and how we keep score when it comes to sustainability.
Thanks, Gary. Cal Poly, back to you.
We're okay. We have no more questions. Thank you.
Come on, one more. Get creative.
Yeah.
Clemson. He's over it. Clemson, graphic communications and packaging? No?
Yeah, we got a microphone problem. Hang on just 1 second.
Explain what a sheet plant is in comparison to other plant types.
Sure, Brett, you want to answer that?
Sure. A sheet plant is a plant where we are converting and adding value to a corrugated sheet. So we're not making the combined corrugated sheet in our facility. We're buying that and bringing that in for a specific order, and then we're printing, die cutting, gluing, folding, all those things, in-house laminating, and doing all those added value things to the sheet in our facility. So that's the difference between really an integrated plant that would have a corrugator and the box converting equipment, die cutters, and all those machinery on site versus one like our plant, which is just a converting plant with the corrugating being done off site.
Thanks, Brett. College of DuPage. This will be our last one. Oh. College of DuPage, are you coming in?
Nothing at this time.
All right.
We have nothing at this time.
Oh, that's right. Illinois State University. Do you have anything for us?
Is there a more desired print background, lithography or flexography or digital, for someone going into the packaging industry besides structural design and graphic design skills?
Yeah, I'll tell you, we just purchased our first digital printer a couple weeks ago. And, lithography, obviously screen printing is kind of a dead industry. If they haven't converted to digital by now, it's going to be too late. Lithography's still got a life there in our business in packaging and printing lithographic forms that we would laminate. But really, we see digital as taking over. I would think it'd be moved along faster than it is. But I would say in 5 years, we're going to be really heavily involved in digital printing, and flexography will be less. So, anything you could work towards and learn about the digital printing aspect, I think would be a great thing going forward.
All right, great, thank you. All right, that's it for questions today. Remember, if you are interested in a job in our industry, go to the ICPF website, www.careersincorrugated.org, to search job openings and to place your resume on their career portal, where corrugated packaging firms seek students for student internships and approaching graduates for full-time positions. And now it's time for our student battle for the top cash prize of $1,500. It's a battle between two teams, Mohawk College in Canada and Cal Poly. Now they'll battle in ICPF's 11th annual Best of the Best Student Winners competition among first place and second place winners in the Design to an Opportunity category within AICC Student Corrugated Design Competition. We have asked these students to show, tell, and sell their entry as they might to a prospective customer. They only have 5 minutes to present. Our judges will select the first place and second place winner. They will judge on content and on presentation skills. Both teams will receive cash prizes. The Design to an Opportunity student winners were asked to design the structure and the graphics to accomplish a given task while accounting for converting challenges. For this competition, it was a real-life challenge to design and create a PDQ counter display that would promote an at-home movie gift package that would hold one 12-ounce canned beverage, one 3-ounce candy bar, and one packaged DVD. You should know that the top student winners that are competing today won an all-expense paid trip to the AICC National Convention in Salt Lake City, Utah this past October, where they assembled on stage for international recognition. Let's go straight to Mohawk College of Team Trevon Manzo, Courtney Mitten, and Tony Murphy. The student team will now show, tell, and sell us on their project called House Design. Mohawk College, are you ready?
We are ready.
All right, your 5 minutes begins now.
Good afternoon. First of all, thank you for the opportunity to present our design. My name is Courtney Mitten. This is Murphy and Trevon Manzo. We're from Mohawk College, and we will be discussing our House MD design for today's ICPF's Best of the Best competition. We will be discussing the design approach, the design description, the assembly of the package and its protective qualities, and the appeal and the impact, and finally the sustainability of the package itself. For the design approach, we took a number of things into consideration. The primary package needed to have somewhat of a symmetrical layout with the products emphasized. The size of the primary needed to be slightly larger to make it stand out on a shelf, since this is going to be a collector's item. A standard was used with alterations to make the products fit, and this allowed for the graphics to be printed only on the outside liner. We wanted the products to just sit in the box. And finally, it had to have a retail-ready display box. Tony will discuss the structural design, protective qualities, and the assembly.
The entire package consists of a primary package, an insert, as well as a master shipper. The primary package is made from E-flute corrugated board, and this was chosen for high-quality graphics, as well as a deterrent from washboarding. The top of the package has a display area for extra graphics, as well as to provide protection for the beverage, and there's a circular cutout for the beverage to sit in. The fold-in trays on the body of the package help to secure the DVD and the chocolate bar. There are no cutouts from these trays, so there is no waste from this. The insert inside the package is made from B-flute corrugated board, and this insert was needed to help secure the products, as well as to serve as a platform for the beverage. The entire package would be then shrink wrapped in a clear EVA film, and this helps to act as a tamper seal, as well as to finish the package look. 4 of these packages would then be placed into a single master shipper, which is then shipped to the store where it would double as a countertop display. And at the retail level, all the employees would have to do is to remove the top portions of the master shipper following the preparations and place it on the counter. And now Trevin will discuss the design from from a graphics perspective.
The primary package is going to be die cut and printed by litho-lamination. This was chosen for high graphic quality. The graphics are based on television show House MD's 7th season, which is now available on DVD. The pop can's graphics were made to look like a Vicodin pill bottle, and the graphics for the chocolate bar have falling pills. Both of these items tie into the main character's addiction on the show. The DVD case has an image of the main character, Gregory House, wrapped in snakes that resemble the doctor's symbol, the caduceus. The back of the gift box has graphics that show all the characters on the series, as well as the same image of Gregory House that is on the DVD case. The master shipper is an RRP that is a regular slotted container. It will have a black stripe that runs all the way around the bottom with the word house and knockout direct printing. All of these items combined give this package great impact and appeal. When a customer sees this package on the store shelf, they're going to be blown away. Even if you're not a collector, the uniqueness of this package and its contents, both structurally and graphically, are going to attract a purchase. There are 2 really great things about this design. The first is this package can easily be converted to hold all 7 seasons by removing the insert and replacing it with the other DVDs. This would increase the sale price with little to no increase in production cost. The other is this design could be altered to attract any fan base or any target market by simply changing the graphics to fit a TV show or movie. Courtney's going to wrap up our presentation with sustainability.
We designed this package with the intent of keeping the carbon footprint to a minimum. We achieved this by using a retail-ready master shipper, and through this have cut down on additional board usage. Since inks can be a contaminant during the recycling process, we eliminated this problem by using water-soluble inks, keeping this product 100% recyclable. The other great thing about this package is that because it is a collector's item, the probability that it will be sent to the landfill is minimal. All in all, the uniqueness of the structural design and the exceptionally high-end graphics tie together to make this a great collector's item for the house fan. Thank you again for your time, consideration, and the opportunity to present here today.
Thank you, Mohawk College. Do you think this might be good for their resumes? You bet it is. That's why all of you out there should plan to enter in the 2012 competition. Entries are due June 15th, and you can go to the ICPF and AICC websites to learn more about the competition. All of the structural design students today should consider competing. Now let's go to the Cal Poly team consisting of Coda Taylor, Samantha Gross, Jeffrey Tall, and Mitchell Benedetti to explain why we should buy their structural design movie reel. Cal Poly, are you out there?
Yeah, we're here.
Okay, all right, your 5 minutes begins now.
Okay, so we designed a package to hold 3 very dissimilar size items: the DVD, the candy bar, and a 12-ounce can of soda. We used an octagonal interior shape to help securely fit the items and display the items and reduce excess waste and material. We designed an E-flute insert that tightly holds all of the items and allows for them to easily be removed. And this removes the need for tie downs or zip ties, anything like this, making it very convenient for the customer, as well as reducing waste. We designed our package with a friction fit top, so the top can slide on and off. This allows the customer to get into the package without destroying it, allowing it to be reused or kept for nostalgia or anything like that. We designed very large windows into the front of it so that all of the items can be seen. This is really important for any fragile or consumable goods, such as the ones that we're carrying. And then after that, we designed a large pointed display box that can hold up to 6 items. We designed it to be easily grab and go, so it's convenient for the customer to grab. It always looks filled and always looks organized and available. Next, Jeff will talk.
All right, as you can see with our graphics, we went with a nostalgic movie projector theme. The actual display itself is the projector, and each package itself is shaped and has the graphics of a film reel. And you can see what's inside through the windows within the film reel. We wanted to represent the whole nostalgic movie experience within each package that the customer will take home with them. And not only that, we wanted our design to be universal enough to work with any kind of movie with little or no graphic changes at all. And next I pass it to Mitch to talk about industry applications.
So the 2 main tools we used to design this were a wide format printer and an Ardios Kongsberg machine that was graciously donated to us by ICPF. We really can't thank you guys enough. But we also designed it in mind that it will transfer well to industry. So we designed our designs so that it can be easily die cut, fed into a printing press, and then into a flexo folder gluer. The primary package is made from E-flute and a transparent polyethylene sheet, and it's held together with hot melt low density polyethylene. The larger display is constructed with C-flute, and all the materials, including the inks, are 100% recyclable. Sam, take it away.
So our package is intended to fulfill all testing for ASTM D4169 at an assurance level of 2. And our tertiary package, or our shipping container, is just a standard regular slotted container, and it's made of C-flute, and it's dimensions of 28.5 inch length by 14.5 inch width and 10.5 inch height. And it's designed to have a 3-case layer, as we showed here. 3-case layer with an 18-case load on a standard 48 by 40 inch pallet. And the palletization allows for 0 overhang with a 93.5% area efficiency used on the pallet. And we also created a 2-layer pallet load for a truck with a 95% area used for the truck. And so these shipping conditions are nearly ideal for lightweight products and a movie reel such as ours to allow for rigorous handling while still providing a necessary protection for high shipping efficiency. So all in all, we designed our package to be structurally sound, visually appealing, and easy to produce. So from all of us here at Cal Poly, we'd really like to thank ICPF for the opportunity to participate today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great, thank you, Cal Poly. Great presentations from everyone. I think there could be a career opening in corrugated packaging and design for each of you. Please remember to visit ICPF's website, www.careersincorrugated.org, to view available jobs that are regularly posted there. Also contact ICPF by email if you are interested in student internships and joining the Career Network. An internship is a great way to get your foot in the door for a full-time position in the corrugated industry upon graduation. Now, before we identify the winners, I want to remind Desai students to enter the 2012 AICC Student Design Competition. The 3 categories are Design to an Opportunity Part 1, Structural Design, Design to an Opportunity Part 2, Graphic Design, and Corrugated as Art. However, ICPF does not include Corrugated as Art in the Best of the Best runoff competition. This year, AICC's Design to an Opportunity is a real-life challenge to design and create retail-ready package for a 6-ounce snack product that does not require a master shipper. Excuse me. For full competition materials are available through the AICC link on ICPF's website, www.careersandcorrugated.org. Again, the deadline for the design entries is June 15th, 2012. We hope that you will participate in this competition that brings cash prizes, recognition, and exposure to the industry that benefits your future. Now, the judges have deliberated the winner. Excuse me. All right. So I have the 2 winners today, and our second place team today will wins $1,000, and our second place winner is Mohawk College, and our first place winner today is Cal Poly, who won $1,500. Congratulations to the winners. I want to thank everyone for tuning in today, and we hope you participate next year. And remember to visit ICPF's website, www.careersandcorrugated.org. Thank you.